Hey guys, what's going on? Got a different type of video for you today, and today we're going to be commentating my friend and alliance mate's last war of the season, and that would be DapTheGreat. So, I have not watched this yet. I'm going to watch it along with you guys, and yeah, we'll see what we think. So, it looks like the team he's going to go with is Quake, Venom, and Omega. So, it's pretty standard. Surprised he's not using Ghost this time, but that's okay. So, for this war, Dap is going to be starting off on path 2. And this first fight is going to be a rank 5 Cull. And this node has poison and inverted immunity, which is basically with bleed. So it's going to place a bleed on him periodically throughout the fight, and if he shrugs it off, he loses health. So this fight, there are some tricky defenders you can put here. Cull is not one of them. So this should be easy for him. The bleed is just going to help Omega. So far, so good. And it looks like he's just trying to let the spores do damage, which is probably a good strategy here. Alright, good job, Dap. Very nicely done. And at this point, for this war, we had already had masters secured. The alliance that we were facing had masters secured as well. So yeah, there wasn't really a ton of pressure to do well in these fights, but we still wanted to try to win. So Dap's going to be going into this next fight. This is going to be a Mordo on, I think it's like explosive personality and aggression armor. So I'm not really sure what the thought process is here, but Dap wanted to Quake this fight, so yeah, Quake is a pretty good answer for Mordo. She can cancel out his power gain as long as he's under concussion when he's supposed to get it. So, yeah, safe play for sure. And these guys, I believe because they had already had their spot secured, they just threw diversity out the window. They didn't place with suicides or anything, but you could just tell that they were kind of placing who they wanted this war, which is fine by us. So looks like Mordo finally got a power gain here, but it doesn't matter. So he's going to be moving along now to... Okay, path 6. So this, I am not super familiar with this node. Looks like limited immunity is the only thing that really matters here. It's also got like boost up armor, which I think makes it so that like if you... I don't even remember. I think it's like if the opponent has an armor up and you hit them with a critical hit, they take 0 damage, but it like takes away an armor up. Doesn't apply to Invisible Woman. So Dap's just going to Quake this fight, which is probably a good call. And limited immunity is where you can't place any debuffs or get any buffs on yourself for the first few seconds of the fight. So again, none of that matters a whole lot with Quake. yeah, she's down. So, really good fight there. And it looks like he's going to be moving along now to his next fight. So this is, I believe this node is the same armor thing, and then no retreat. So you can't back up twice within I think 2 seconds. Like you can back up one time. If you back up a second time, you're going to take degen. So Quake is really good for this. If you are comfortable, you know, instead of doing like the full deck style, if you're comfortable letting your heavy evade their heavy attack, if they have a multi-part heavy, which Dap is really good at, so he's going to parry when he can, but when he can't, it's not a big deal. And again, he's really good at doing the thing in the corner, where if Thing uses a heavy attack, he can use his heavy to evade the whole thing, even though it's only even though it's like a 3-part heavy. So, yeah, Thing down. Another good fight. So it looks like the next fight that he took is going to be this rank 5 Mysterio on Safeguard. So Quake is also a really good answer for this fight as well. There are a lot of people that could work on this node, but with Mysterio and Bulwark, I feel like it is Quake is the ideal matchup here. You could use Void too, but you don't want to have to worry too much about playing around Mysterio's special attacks. After the special 1, he reflects damage, and after the special 2, you can miss him. So it's just better to use Quake. So you can see he's about, not even a minute into the fight, and this Mysterio is about to go down. As long as he doesn't make any mistakes. And yeah. Another really good Quake fight. So this is towards the end of the war now, and Dap is going to take this debuff immune Guillotine 2099 with Quake. This is probably the best matchup for this fight. So Guillotine 2099, if you don't knock her down with a special attack or a heavy attack, she can cause you to miss. So Quake, unless you can parry her, is probably the best matchup for this fight, because you don't have to worry about missing if you're just charging up your heavy and letting the aftershocks and concussion do all the work for you. So again, this was probably one of the better matchups. And yeah, he's making good time. Again, he's not even a minute into this fight, and she's down. So Quake is just so awesome. Quake is just such a good character to use an alliance for. If you're skilled enough, she is one of the safest options. And here he is now at the boss. So this is the global that they're running here is Bulwark. So Warlock cannot be armor broken, which means that your critical hits can't do, your special attacks can't be critical. So Dap is going to go in here with Venom and try to use his special 1 to consume the armor instead of breaking the armor. So he switched up his masteries here. He took off suicides, he took off willpower, because Warlock can hurt you if you're running willpower against him. So masteries are changed. You can see he's boosted. You can see that he just consumed Warlock's armor. It just came back online. So yeah, this fight, you know, it's not that it's super challenging, but it involves some good timing in order to remove the armor up buff. And you can see here too, it doesn't specify in Venom's abilities what buff he's going to consume, just that he's going to consume a buff. So it looks like he's taking off the left buff, like the leftmost buff on Warlock. So unless he can get back up to a special 1 before Warlock gets another buff, it's not going to consume his armor, if that makes sense. So right there it took away his armor because that was furthest on the left. Now he's got a physical resistance left of the armor up buff, so the next special 1 should take the physical resistance. Oh, never mind. They swapped places. So yeah, you can see here though, the timing is a little bit rough. He's got about a minute left, and Warlock is still at 42% health. And we were kind of giving each other a hard time during this war, joking about the other person dying. So I was watching this, but I obviously wanted him to make it through and get the solo. So it looks like that took the energy resistance buff away. And he's got about 25 seconds left. Warlock is at 20%. It's getting really, really close. Got a really good intercept there. All right, he's down to 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Warlock is not playing along and got the timeout. So yeah, I feel like if the, you know, if Warlock had played into him just a little bit more, that would not have been a timeout. But here, Warlock's practically dead. There's no need for him to heal up or anything. The outcome had already been decided. So he's just going to go in here and tap him a couple times, and he'll go down. So, really good war to you, Dap. You did great, as usual. And here you can see we finished 14th in Masters this season, which, you know, is good. We've been finishing in Masters quite a bit lately. And then he's going to go ahead and open this Greater Gifting Crystal that I sent him. And while this crystal is spinning, and he's also going to open up a featured 5-star crystal next, while this crystal's spinning, I'm going to go ahead and let you know that Dap is going to post my war video, my last war of the season, on his channel, and he's going to commentate it for me. So if you are not already familiar, and you should be, his channel is DapTheGreat, all one word. And yeah, go over to his channel and watch my last war of the season as well. So looks like a Karnak. Not great. Dap has pretty bad luck with these, but yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.